Ron from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. What do you make of the TMZ story about Hulk Hogan being upset with Brock Lesnar for calling him old on Raw during Hogan's birthday party segment? Well, he is old. There's really not much else to say. And with Hogan, look, with Hogan, you never know where the show stops and reality begins. I can tell you this. The line where Brock Lesnar told Hulk Hogan, "Party's over, Grandpa," was not part of the script. Lesnar improvised that on his own. I thought it was the best line of the whole segment. I thought it was great. But it does make sense because I even said here on the podcast when I reviewed that whole thing, I'm surprised that Hogan would allow something like that to be said about him on TV. He's very protective of being called old on television. He's very protective of his image, even though he is old. So now it all makes sense. You know, he didn't see it coming because Brock came up with it on the spot. But Hogan being Hogan, he's playing it up more than it really is. I think he said something about Brock crossing a line when it comes to talking about Hogan's family. I have no idea what he's talking about there. I think it's just Hogan being Hogan. Maybe he's angling for a match, a title shot against Brock Lesnar because Brock beat him all those years ago. And Hogan, I don't know if you know the story or not, but Hulk Hogan has a bear hug loss on television, on SmackDown, at the hands of Brock Lesnar. It was the go-home show to SummerSlam in 2002, right before Brock beat Rock to become the champion. Hogan lost in a bear hug on television and got the hell beaten out of him with a chair when the match was over. Very, very, very seldomly does Hogan allow himself to be booked in such weak fashion. As the story goes, the understanding was Hogan will do the job to this new guy on television, put him over as a monster. But Hogan wanted to come back to do the rematch at Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden, where he would beat Brock to become the champion. And thank God Vince McMahon said no. And that was the source of discontent between Hogan and WWE. Hogan went away. He didn't come back for many more months. He didn't come back until the following year when he did the feud with Vince heading into WrestleMania. That's why. So who knows? Maybe in his mind, Hogan has never gotten over that. It's one of the few blemishes on his record. You know, Yokozuna beat him, and Hogan never got his win back on Yokozuna. Now he can't. So maybe he wants to come back, and he wants to beat Brock for the belt. Would any of us be surprised if that really was his thought process here? I know he's angling for a match with Cena or Austin at WrestleMania. The match with Austin, it's not happening. The match with Cena, if he could somehow get cleared by doctors, yes. That, of all the scenarios, that has the most likely shot of happening, and even that I don't think is going to happen. So I sure as hell hope he's not angling for a match with Brock, because even if he got one, not that he's going to win, but I don't think he could handle a match. I mean, he would be literally broken in half. We've heard JR say that before. Hulk Hogan, though, would literally be broken in half right in the middle of the ring, and I don't want to see that.